All right, number 37 from the homework. State the discriminant. Can't state it unless it's equal to 0. So move that 3 over. X squared minus 4/5 x minus 3 equals 0. You weren't solving it. You were just finding the discriminant. What is the discriminant? What is it? B squared minus 4ac. Your B value up here is what? Negative 4/5. Your A value, 1, and your C value, negative 3. So I'm going to store all these into my calculator and then do B squared minus 4ac. Let's see, what type of number did you get out there? I have no idea because it says C margin. Let's see here real quick. Okay, so store negative 4/5 in for B. Got it. 1 in for A. Got it. Negative 3 in for C. Got it. And then B squared minus 4ac. I'm getting 316 over 225. All right, 316 over 25. And then, even though that looks kind of weird, but is it a positive number bigger than 1 or bigger than 0? Yes. So that means how many roots do I have if it's positive? 2 real roots. Okay, 2 real roots. Next up. Going. Yes, Emma. 31, everybody. Glad somebody asked one of these here in this section. Okay, 31. Solve it. Solve it for x. Okay, you guys, I've already mentioned it, but you guys tell me now. What are your 3 ways you could solve this tomorrow on the test? Well, no, vertex form. I could complete the square. I could factor. I could use quadratic formula. All right. A couple of them tomorrow, yes, I'm going to make you do it a certain way, but there are also a couple like this one, you can choose whatever you want. I usually avoid completing the square if the B value is odd, because you got to divide by 2 and then you're dealing with decimal, so I usually avoid that. This one right here, I'm going to choose factoring because it goes a little quicker. If you want to factor, though, it's got to be equal to 0. Same thing with quadratic formula. It's got to always be equal to 0, so I'm going to move the 10 over. Okay, let's not forget our whole factoring. Anybody know 2 numbers that multiply to 10 but add to 3? Numbers are already up there, but 5 and 2. How do I make them add to negative 3? Negative 5 and positive 2. I set each of them equal to 0. So I end up with x equals 5 and x equals negative 2. Same answer you would have gotten if you did quadratic formula. We okay, Emma? Any others we want to talk about? Okay, let me take a look at it because I want to take a look at it, and we're just going to get after it right now. Have your review out that I had handed you yesterday. Let me make this clear to everybody. I am not checking this tomorrow. You walk through the door tomorrow, I'm handing you the test. There's not going to be any time like usual for questions to be asked tomorrow. All right, it is a test. It is not a quiz. I've always answered questions before because it was a quiz and you didn't need the whole class. I am handing you the test as you walk through the door tomorrow. So you get your questions answered now or after school today. All right, this is already posted on Aspen, so you can see all my answers and all my work. I am not checking it, so that's your call. We're talking 54 points tomorrow, though. First grade of the 4th quarter, and what have I been telling you? You can start off real well or dig yourself out of a hole all 4th quarter. That's your call. Okay, but I am not checking this tomorrow. All right. I hopefully you try some out to get ready for the test, but that's your decision. Not checking it. I'm not going over any questions tomorrow because we don't have the time. All right. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. You guys that were out yesterday, what did we get up to, everybody? 7, 8? Oh, we got up to 8. All right. So you guys that weren't here yesterday, we got up to 8. Those questions we did in class are all up on the video from yesterday. Okay, if you want to look at the video from yesterday, we did 1 through 8. All right, I am not going to go through all of it. I can't. We don't have time, and I don't know how good that's going to work. All right, for you guys. So here's what I got for you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more questions that I want to go over with you guys, and then the rest of the time is up to you. Okay, you do what you want to. You move around, work with other people, get the Chromebooks open, and look at my answer key. Okay, that's going to be your call. But I have 4 questions right now I need to do with you. First one we're going to do, number 10. All right, let's go to number 10, everybody. Okay, here we go. We got a French bakery, cute, making croissants, even better when it reduces its price. The profit is modeled by this big equation right here. X is the number of croissants sold per day. What's the maximum profit the bakery can make? Somebody help me out. I do not want to go to the calculator because I'm predicting that you're not going to see it in the calculator. The numbers are going to be too big. Somebody tell me what is happening to this graph. You see a negative sign. You see a 0.2. You see a -60. You see a $1.50 there. What is happening to my original x squared graph here? A ton. Callie, one thing. It is in vertex form. Thank you. I didn't even notice that. Thank you. It is in vertex form. Yep. Go ahead, Frank. Tom? It's going to flip over the x-axis. What's that 0.2 tell me? Compressed or stretched? Compressed. It's less than 1. Nice job. That -60. Right 60. Up 150. All right. Let me go back to Callie. She said it was in vertex form. Where's the turning point or the vertex? 60, 150, right? And who said it was flipped over the x-axis? Okay. So it's going to look like this, right? And what are we looking for? The maximum profit. Maximum profit. So is it the 60 or is it the 150? The maximum value. Because both of them are choices there. I want to suck you in. The Y value is always your maximum. The Y value is always the maximum. So in this case, it would be 150. Does anybody know what the 60 is, though? That is really, I know it's not part of the question, but it's pretty darn important. I know it's $150 maximum I could make, but anybody know what the X value is? What that represents in the problem? Tom? 60 croissants. When 60 croissants are sold, I can make a max profit of 150. All right, everybody all right? How I'm getting all that? We okay? Vertex form, nice job. Questions? Because I don't want to go too fast. Okay, moving on. I have, let's see, just did 10. I'm moving on to 13. Cut off some of the question there, but okay, when I'm solving this equation by completing the square, which step is a process? All right, so what I'm going to do with you guys is let's just complete the square from the beginning. And then hopefully one of our steps will match one of our multiple choices. So let's complete the square from the beginning. First step to completing the square. Not yet. Even before I move the C value, what do I have to take a check of? A value's got to be 1. Is it 1? Okay, we're good now. Now move your C value over. Yep. Go ahead and move your C value over. So x squared minus 10x equals 5. Find the new C. Find your new C value. What's the process of finding my new C value? Take half my B. Everyone go ahead right now. Take half the B. What do you get? -5 and take -5 and Square it. Half your b value and square it. What new number do you end up with? 25. And again, that new c value is always positive. Always positive. Unbalanced. What's got to happen to the right side? Add 25. All right, here we go. Factor. How do I know what's going to go in here? Take what? What was it? Take half of b, which was -10. So half of -10 is x minus 5 squared. On the other side, I have 30, and it looks like I'm up to the point of my multiple choice answers. So we're looking at choice 2. But from here, where would we go? I know we're done with the problem, but from here, where would we go? Square root both sides. So you get x minus 5 equals the square root of 30. And x minus 5 equals what? Negative value of the square root of 30. And you would solve both. All right. Any others? 14. Here we go. 14. I gave you a little table. All right. I gave you a table. And I told you the turning point was at 4, -4. Everyone see where that is? 4, -4. There's the turning point. Can you fill in the rest of the table? Pretend it's your graphing calculator screen. What do you guys always remember about the y values? They're all symmetric, right? They all match up. So everyone ready? Let's go. What should be at 3? -3. What should be at 6? Yep. 7, 5, and at 0. There you go. Just like your graphing calculator screen. Nice job. Now we have a second question, which is, what are the zeros? What are the solutions? Where does it cross the x-axis? That's what I'm looking for here. Look at your table right now. Where are the zeros of the functions? Where it crosses the x-axis, the x-intercepts, the solutions. Anybody can tell on my table where the zeros are? Where are the zeros on the table? Guesses here? Here we go. Come on, let's focus in here. We're drifting. Caitlin? Okay, so at x equals 2, y equals 0, and at x equals 6. Explain your reasoning, because that's where the y equals 0. So that is where, and I'm not going to say y, I'll say f of x to make myself look smarter. That is where f of x equals 0. Those are your zeros, where the y values are 0. 1, 2 of them. Questions? I think I got one more for you. And that is number 22, everybody. 22. Whew, a lot involved here. Yep. All right, so, they give me an equation. What is the maximum power? And what's power here, W or I? Anybody read it for me? What's the maximum power? W, okay, so I need to know the maximum value for W that can delivered. Okay, let's go through this process now, because there will be a definite maximum question on there tomorrow. Maximum. First thing I find is the x value. Anybody remember how I find the x coordinate of the maximum? My axis of symmetry. All right, now let's find the axis of symmetry of this one. But, whoa, be careful. Anybody know why this could get a little tricky? Caitlin, why is this a little tricky? Look at the equation. It's negative, and it's kind of written in a different order, right? So I don't know if anybody wants to fix that, because that drives me nuts. Negative, because I always like it to go in standard form. Negative 12i squared plus 120i. So just be careful there. I always like it to go in standard form. All right, now let's find the x value, which is, yes, the axis of symmetry. Negative b over 2a. Go ahead, pick off the b value. B value. 120, so when I plug it in, negative 120 over 2 times negative 12. Nice. So let's find this x value for the axis of symmetry. And you guys are finding negative 5? Well, it's a negative divided by a negative, right? Negative 24. Right? 2 times negative 12. Right? So we're getting 5. Okay, everybody stop. That's not my maximum, right? Because remember what I told you from the bakery question. The maximum's the y value. This right here, though, what is that telling me? That's the maximum. What's I represent? What's I represent in this problem? That's the maximum. That's the number of current, or I don't even know if number of current's the correct vocab. That's the current that allows for the maximum. So how do you find the y value then? How do I find the y value if I know the x? Store it in. Yep, store it in. Plug it into the equation now. Okay, so store into your calculator to find the y value, or to find w in this case. So the max power, 300, what's it in watts? So 300. So are we okay on finding the process, or understanding the process of finding the maximum? You find the axis of symmetry. That tells you how long, what the time is, what the number of croissants is, what the current is. That gets the max. Plug it back into the formula, and the y value is your max. While we're here on this page, number 23, I do not want you to graph. You can answer the questions, but you do not. I don't want you to graph. This graph is ridiculous. Okay, so don't worry about graphing on 23, but you can certainly answer parts A, B, and C here. Okay. And actually, you know what? While we're on here, cross off. You can do A and B, but cross off C. C's even. I'm not going to ask that stuff tomorrow. All right, this is all your time now. If you waste it, I'm not going to say anything to you. All right, you know what's coming up tomorrow. I think I've preached the severity of it pretty well. All right, so you guys move around, work wherever you want. Let's get answer keys out up on Aspen. All right, I will certainly sit down with you however long it takes to go over a problem if you don't know what my work is showing. All right, so let's get it going, move around. I don't care who you work with. If you want to put some tunes in, that's fine. All right, whatever gets the job done.